Welcome back to another episode of Addicted to Quitting, where we are focusing on quitting the habits that no longer serve us so we can elevate our health, our habits, and our happiness. I am your host, Gentry. I'm a divorced mom to 4 boys. My background is in accounting, but now I love to share my hope and humor with you guys here on this podcast and also on my social media platforms. If you are not following me on social media, what are you doing? Make sure that you're following me on all of the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I'm on Pinterest, y'all, YouTube. So make sure that you are following me on all those things so you can stay up to date on what's going on in the Quitter Club communities, what's going on with the Quitter Club or Quitter Shop merch, what's going on with Hope and Humor, how I can continue to help you guys become the best version of yourself. So today I want to talk about that. I want to talk about something that I really implement to become the best version of myself. And if you're ready to get real, if you're ready to kind of maybe look at some structures of your day and make some changes, then this is the episode for you. So stick around. All right, who's ready to learn? I'm in a teaching mode today. Last podcast, I feel like I always want to try to find a silver lining. I always am trying to okay, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I be better from this? Even in my depths of depression, which is a real thing. There's clinically depressed, there's chemical imbalances, there's just situational depression. Depression is real, and that replay that we can get trapped in is so heavy. It's super hard. So, even when I was sharing in that last episode about if you haven't listened to that episode, make sure you go back and listen to that episode, because I kind of take you through 24 hours of my life on that. I recorded a podcast in the middle of a depressive episode, and then kind of pushed myself to talk to my counselor, to go for a walk, to do some things that are good for me. And 24 hours later, I also recorded a part of that, and it's all in one podcast. So I'm like, man, just doing these small baby step things made me feel so much better in X amount of time. It's so hard in the moment to push yourself to do it, but something that I know, and something that I preach, and something that I think is really important as we go into the holiday season, as we go into the chaos and the schedule changes and it's darker. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's dark I live up in Washington. So the more north you are, the more you know that winters are dark. And I remember going to work, and I would go to work and it was dark, and I'd come home at 5 and it was dark. You left work when it was dark. And so right now, it's 4:30, it's getting dark. In the summertime up here, it gets dark at I think it's not till 8:30, 9 sometimes. I don't know, but it's still light out. It'll be light out. You can still see a glow from the sun way late hours of the night. Not now, right? So we have seasonal issues coming up. We have the stress of the holidays coming up. We have finances of the holidays. We have family gatherings of the holidays. All of this can be super overwhelming, which can cause us to feel out of control. It can make us feel depressed. It can make us feel anxious. All these emotions. This is a very emotional time. It's also an exciting time. It's also fun, and we get to connect with our family, and we get to make memories. But even that sometimes, because the pressure of that can be overwhelming. But something that I am really trying to lean into on my journey in going into this holiday season is to be way more proactive than I have in the past. So instead of not having a plan, I want to plan. I want a game plan. I want a system. I want to stay strict to that system. I want to be consistent so that I'm not this I want to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. I want to set the tone of the type of holiday season I want to have. I want to have a fun one. I want to connect with my kids. I want us to have fun decorating. I don't want things to feel like a chore. I want to have passion during all this time. I want to make the magic for them. I want to be more interested in the presence, being present versus the presence, which I just made a sweatshirt that says this, and I'm actually looking at it right now on my other screen, and I'm going to link it below because I absolutely love it. But it says presence, being presence with a CE, and then a greater sign than presence, like the presents, like buying presents. So your presence is more valuable than the money that you spend on things. People want your presence. They do not necessarily like true friends, true family, true connection is built off of the presence of you, not the presence you can give, not the financial aspect of things that you can give. And I just love this sweatshirt, so I'm going to link it for you guys. There's a sweatshirt, there's a crew neck, there's a t-shirt, all of it. Anyways, but I think that we need to have that needs to be like the foundation of us going into this holiday season. Is like, what do I need to do to be present during this holiday season? What do I need to do to be like, I'm here, I'm enjoying this moment, I'm finding peace in this moment, I'm not overwhelmed about all the people I need to buy for. Set boundaries on that stuff. Like, set the boundaries on the things that you need to do to not overspend, to not put yourself in financial stress. Like, I would never want my family to put themselves in financial stress to get me like a $20 gift and 17 other people a $20 gift, right? Like, just give me a card, or don't give me anything. Let's hang out. Like, I'm not a materialistic person. I just don't, it's just not how I am. I don't like presents, right? Presents over presents. Get the sweatshirt, wear it proudly, go into the holidays like, I didn't get you anything because I'm here. I'm giving you my presents, and this is worth a lot. Especially if you're new to sobriety. It's like, hey, I am present in this moment, and I am like, whoo. Anyways, so something that I'm wanting to really work on this holiday season is, one, not make it like this completely like different time of the year. I think that sometimes we like, oh, well, we have this going on and this, and we have to, and so we think that we're kind of, it's okay to not do the things that we need to do, or not do the things that we typically do, like not stick to a budget, or not work out consistently, or not be careful about what we're eating. And I'm not saying like we can't enjoy the holidays. It's not like we can't splurge on Thanksgiving, or we can't eat at our family thing, but like a lot of times in the last 6 weeks of the year derail our progress for the whole year. We're just kind of like, I know I'm going to have this holiday thing. I know I'm going to start on January 1st. No, we're not going to start on January 1st. We're going to start now, and we're going to work through this during the holiday. I want to be consistent with my budget still. I don't want to be like, oh, well, I really want to get my kids this X, Y, and Z, and I want them to have X this, and I want this. They need the presents, even though it puts me in financial stress. No. Do not set the boundary, set the tone now before we get into the holidays, and decide what your budget is. Decide what's like, what are your goals going to be January 1st? And let's bring those back right now. Like, bring them back now. You can go through the holidays with like, I want to work out consistently. I want to be healthier. And then if you splurge on Thanksgiving, or you splurge on a holiday party or whatever, like, you already are starting the process of building that. And so you can practice this with the obstacles of the holidays. And when you start on January 1st, you're just going to be able to hit the ground running again. Because it's like, you're going to start implementing these things now. You're going to start setting a budget now. You're not going to wait till January 1st and be like, I just blew all my money. My credit cards are maxed because I wanted to give my kids a good holiday Christmas or holiday season before I started my budget. No, start the budget now. Don't put yourself in a bigger hole January 1st because you are trying to push it off, and now it's worse because you went on a bender, in anticipation for January 1st. No, start now. Take care of your health now. Set up your budgets now. And this is something that I don't think I've always done. I've kind of was like, okay, January 1st, I'm really going to get healthy. January 1st, I'm going to get sober. I don't know how many times I said that one. January 1st, I'm going to really stick to my budget. No, I'm setting my budget now. I'm setting I'm getting organized now. I'm not going to wait till the chaos of Christmas is done to start getting organized. I'm going to get organized now. I'm going to start staying consistent with my workouts now. I'm not waiting until January 1st. I'm done waiting. Like, I don't know if tomorrow's even promised. And I think that like the waiting game puts us in such a deeper hole by January 1st. And I'm not going to sit here and say like, if you start today and start right now, you will be able to have the strength to not drink during the holidays if you're trying to get sober. You'll be able to have the strength to not overeat during the holidays. You'll have the strength to not overspend. I'm not saying that you will all of a sudden be able to do those things perfectly. I mean, we can be hopeful. I don't want to like set you up for failure. I don't want to set you up for doubt. But I'm just saying that like, I'm not saying that just making these decisions now is going to make you all of a sudden 100% perfect at these decisions. But why are we not starting the process now? Why are we not trying to train ourselves better now? Why are we not at least setting the budget and then we can see where we're getting off at? Why are we not analyzing how we're missing the mark? Why not start now? Why not start now? Why do we wait till January 1st? Like I so strongly believe in being proactive on things, and I talk about this in my 30-day habit reset. I think I say it like, I don't know, I should go through and count how many times I say proactive over reactive, proactive over reactive. When I'm in a reactive state, when I'm in a state of chaos, there is not a whole lot of things I can do. So if we know that we're going to be triggered during the holidays, if we know we're going to be tempted to overspend, if we know that we're going to be tempted with food, if we can do the things that we know if we can do the things that we know are going to help us on the off days, it's going to better prepare us for the days that are testing us. So if we start now, if we really start looking at it now, come January, come the new year, you're going to be so much farther ahead than anyone else out there. Like, honestly, like, there's so many people that are like, oh, I can't think about it right now. I'm too overwhelmed. They're already choosing overwhelm. Like, quit choosing overwhelm. For me, I have to stick to a good, healthy start to my day. Like, I have to. I've been working out with my son in the morning. We skipped a couple of days because of different things, and I felt it. I was like, even if he's not going to get up with me, I need to get up and I need to work out. Like, having that morning routine and starting my day off right is so important, and that doesn't have to do with the holidays. That just has to do with me. So, like, we're looking at, like, who do I want to be? What do I need to do to be able to have a successful holiday season so that come the new year, I'm already steps ahead. Even if I do overspend, I'm not gonna binge overspend. I'm gonna set the budget. I'm gonna make a game plan. Like, let's plan our life now. Let's plan our holiday seasons now. Let's plan the things that make us feel better now. I need to have a good morning routine. It keeps me out of depression. It keeps me out of a funk. It keeps my head clear. It keeps me more productive throughout the day. It's important for me. If I'm not proactive with that, I feel it. I will get into a chaotic, reactive state and I can go into a depression. We don't want to be in a depression, so I have to be on top of that. So going into the holiday season, when I'm anticipating that it's going to be busy and it's going to be chaos and I'm not going to be able to do these things, I'm giving up before I even get there. Like, we can focus on today. We can make our game plan today. We can do the things that we know are going to help us today so that we can get through the holiday season with less bumps and bruises. Instead of giving up today because you know it's going to be hard in a few days, or you know it's going to be overwhelming, or you know you're not going to be able to be on track. I'm not going to be able to work out on Thanksgiving because there's going to be just too much going on. So I'm not going to work out today because there's too much. Like, no, and I'm guilty of this type of stuff too. I will create these excuses in my head based off of future obstacles. Like, I can't, why bother today? I'm not going to get it tomorrow or the next day or the next day. No, but today, what do you need to do? For me personally, I need to stick to a morning routine. I need to be consistent with my morning routine. For me personally, I need to make a game plan for the holidays with my finances. I have a habit of overspending on my children because I love them. No, it's not even about love. It's just like, it just happens. So I want to make a better game plan this year. I want to be like, okay, what do they want specifically? I want to ask them more questions so I make sure I get exactly what they want and not just get stuff. I don't want just stuff in this house. I want it to be efficient. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to ask them what they want. I'm going to start price checking. I'm going to be a lot more careful and thoughtful and proactive with our holidays this year versus just getting overwhelmed and just buying them things that because I want them to have things. So for me personally, it's like those daily tasks, moving my body consistently, making sure I'm feeding my body what it needs, making sure that I'm taking care of myself, even though I know that there's days during the holidays that I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to get overwhelmed by that. I'm going to do what I can do today. And today, what I need to do is be proactive with my planning, proactive with my body, and proactive with my budget. So I encourage you to really decide how you want to show up this year. Because if you are in a state of like reactiveness with the holidays, if you're in a state of overwhelm in the holidays, then you're not going to be able to show up and be the best version of yourself. You're not going to be able to show up and like really be the type of mom you want to be, or the type of dad you want to be, or the type of partner you want to be. Like, let's start planning for the holiday we want to have today. Let's start planning for the January 1st we want to have today. Let's start planning for the person we know we're capable of becoming today. Start today. Okay? I appreciate everyone who had reached out to me after listening to my last podcast. So many people related and felt it, that like, man, I get it. And so I really, really appreciate that. And I hope that if you've listened to that, you're listening to this one and saying like, okay, what do I need to do today to keep me from a depressive episode? How can I be proactive today? Because there's proactive activities that we can do to like ignite our passions, get us excited about life, keep us going, like working out, doing those types of things. And then we get in a reactive state. And then we have to get really logical and like, okay, what do I need to do? I need to go for a walk. So really, really focusing on when we're not in a depressive episode, the proactivity that we can be doing to help us not get into that depressive episode. In that last episode, I kind of talked about the little baby steps I was taking to get out of the episode. But those baby steps that get me out, a lot of those translate over to the ones that keep me from getting there too. So, but I want you to get excited. I want you to get excited. I want you to make a game plan. I want you to start living for today. I want you to start bringing the energy that you would bring on January 1st to every single day. I want you to start bringing the intentionality of that you bring on that excitement, like every day. Like, okay, today's January 1st. Today's January 1st. So like, I want to have a good budget. I want to be organized. I want to be efficient. What do I need to do? And then do those things. Got it? Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Addicted to Quitting, where we are focusing on quitting the habits that no longer serve us so we can elevate our health, our habits, and our happiness. If you are interested in joining me and my community for the rest of the year, so group coaching every single week where we meet, we talk about some of these things, we talk about boundaries, we talk about overwhelm, we talk about how to become the best version of ourselves. If you would like that support and that accountability, use the link below to figure out how you can gain 2 free months access to that community, get you through the end of the year, and really start your year off right. Thank you again for joining me. I am cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. You guys are my favorite quitters. Keep going. You got this.